All right. So today I would like to talk about challenging yourselves and how to keep pushing forward. And I'm pretty sure that we all have times in our lives when we feel so challenged that we don't even know where to start. And I thought this quote pretty much sums it up pretty well for every woman, because once you have figured out your worth and you know what it is that you want and you boarded that flight to freedom, that is where the change is going to start. But it is very hard to start on that journey, and it sometimes is hard to create momentum, and we get stuck in so many things. So if you think about challenges, what are your challenges? Would you mind putting that in the chat so that I can hopefully hear from you and we know what we're talking about here? Okay, overwhelm. Yes, it's a huge challenge. It really is. Anybody else? So a couple of weeks ago, I finding time. That's a big one also. Yep. Thank you. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked this question in the group, and I got a lot of interesting, very interesting answers, and some of them had to do with time management. Obviously, we feel like we never have enough time. The fact that we as women in business have to balance, have to find this balance, this very tricky space between work and family life, which gets even harder and more complicated when we start feeling guilt for not spending enough time at work or not giving enough energy to what we do as our business in favor of family life. And then, once you start doing it vice versa, you're like, okay, and now I feel guilty for not giving my family the time that they deserve, and I give all my time to my work. And like, how do you not feel guilty? It is so hard to find this balance. It is so hard to um, feel that you're being taken advantage of, that when you would have a one-on-one with someone, like a meeting, a face-to-face meeting, and that meeting goes pretty well, and you have a great conversation, and you talk about your services and how you can help, and you go into this mode of helping the person, and then the person turns around and goes to do business with somebody else, and you're just like, oh, I just spent, like, this much time and this much energy trying to help you, and you just walked away. We all work many shifts. We all wear multiple hats. Some of us have more than, one kind of employment, right? Some of us work 40 plus hours, full-time work, and then we have a side business. And then we have the house to take care of. And then we have uh, yes, many hats. That's right. And then we have, take the kids to soccer. I don't know. Everything else that we're doing, it looks like we're working not one job, but we have two, three, four jobs sometimes. We are all in business again, and sales is a part of business. Even if you are saying that, like, I don't do sales, if somebody is paying for your services, you're selling, you are in sales. And that fear of sales, the fear of being salesy, the fear of, what is she going to think about me if I come to her with this offer? Oh my goodness. The lack of respect towards your work hours when you carve out the 2 hours on the weekend and you go sit at your desk or in your bed, but wherever you do your work, and you get constantly interrupted. Ah, right? And like on top of all of that, you also get a lot of pressure that like your marketing is not there. You need to do branding. You need to learn to be a sales pitch professional. You need, like, there's so much that we have to deal with besides just being women, that yeah, it does get overwhelming. It does get hard. And when you look and think about these things, what would your score be out of 6 when you feel like nothing comes together? You've been trying and trying, and it's not working out. And you think, okay, like every single self-help book on business says that my business should be blossoming in 5 months, and I've been here for 2 years and nothing's happening. Like, what hits you? What thoughts hit you? I don't know how to do it. I'm stuck. My favorite is, what have I been thinking? Like, this one is my thing. I'm like, this is something that kicks me a lot, and I know it, I recognize it, and I know what to do about it. But what would your score be? Would you put in the comments like the thoughts, if they resonate, or maybe there's other thoughts that you have when you get overwhelmed? And I have to remind you guys to please turn off your mics. Please mute yourselves so that we don't get feedback, because it might sound really noisy. So we do have, do you really have 6 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I do have 6 here. Anybody? I'm afraid I'll never be as good as her, or she's too successful for me to compete with her. Did you ever have that thought? Did you ever work or listen to somebody who told you, hey, to know what you're doing for your business, you need to find your competitors and check out what they're doing and base your business on their success? But then you look at what they're doing and you're like, holy cow. Thank you, Janelle. What can I do better? What am I doing wrong? And see, in this, like right here, there is 2 mindsets right here. Okay, so what I'm trying to get us to is that we have mindsets, obviously, and you can switch your mindset, okay? So the losing mindset, the mindset that keeps you stuck, would say, what am I doing wrong? Why am I wrong, right? But the winner's mindset would be, what can I do better and how can I fix what I'm doing wrong? Okay, you know, if it doesn't make sense, I really want you to comment somewhere on the chat box and just tell me, whoa, slow down, lady. Let's talk about this some more, okay? So did you know that Oprah Winfrey was demoted from her job? Did you know that Walt Disney was labeled as lacking imagination and having no original ideas? Did you know that Albert Einstein was thought to never amount to much? How does that sound? Vera Wang. In 1968, she failed to make the figure skating team. And yet, she'd become very successful and an iconic fashion designer years later. J.K. Rowling. I had recently looked into her biography. The woman who who got separated from her abusive husband, who had her kids, and she was on the welfare, and like she was going through pretty rough time. And I'm thinking that myself, I would not be the person sitting in the coffee shop typing up my manuscript. I'd be probably picking up jobs wherever I can, right? But somehow something in her allowed her to do that. I wonder what it was. Tyra Banks, just look at this. What is she saying about her own success? She's saying that now she's taken seriously, but she wasn't before. People would say you're a model, you have a talk show, it's going to be canceled. You're not going to have success. You're not going to do what you want to do. I love what Candace is saying here. They all have visions and concrete goals. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I do not remember who exactly said this, but as I was doing my research on successful women, somebody said something about how people like to talk about their vision boards and their success and how they got there, and how people really avoid talking about fear and the struggle and what really took them there, because like we have no idea what she had to go through, or what J.K. Rowling had to go through. We don't know. What we know is that they're right there, right? And they were all told multiple times that they cannot succeed. But they wouldn't allow that hurt them. It wouldn't make them believe it. It's not what somebody tells you that you can or cannot do that would build you up and would design your life for you. It is what you say that you can or what you can't do. So the question here is, what do you believe? Do you believe that you can? Looking back at all these people, they all have something in common: determination, resilience, tenacity, work ethic, but most of all of this is based on faith. What do you believe you can do? So when you feel stuck, or not stuck, but you're trying to work on your mindset and you're trying to figure out, so what is it that I believe? What is it that I'm doing wrong? What is going on, right? Here we go. What can you say? What am I missing? It's not the loser's mindset that tells you, oh, you know what, you're not ever gonna do this. Or how can you think that the person who lacks education and this area can ever be successful in that area? We've all heard those words. But what am I missing? What kind of skills am I missing? Where can I learn them? What can I do to learn them? I'm on the right track. Not the, I'm awesome, I'm doing great, like I've finished this goal, like completed. No, as soon as you say, I'm completed, I'm done, I'm awesome, you're done. You're done moving. I'm on the right track tells you that there is more growth. You can keep growing. You don't need to stop where you are. It's okay to tell yourself to realize that things may take time and effort, You know, when we look at successful people, we see them at this certain point of time right now where they are successful. Most of these people are 15 to 20 years ahead of us. So when you think, I wonder if Oprah started where I am right now, what would happen? And then you think, but I'm not Oprah Winfrey, I am me. So where do I want to be in 15 to 20 years? What am I seeing as my future? Remembering that you can always improve. Just keep trying. Mistakes are a good thing. It's a learning experience. If you don't make mistakes, how are you gonna learn? It's a good thing. And looking at that lady who is doing everything and she's perfect, and you think that you can never compete with her, and you should just stop doing it. You know what? Look at what she's doing, look at how she does it, and try it. Just try it. And every time you do something, ask yourself, is this really my best work? And if you can say yes, then hey, pat on the back. If you can say no, what am I missing? Am I on the right track? What are the strategies that I need to learn? When you get stuck or you feel overwhelmed, it is so easy to start making excuses. It is so easy to go into the mode of, here are the reasons why I cannot do this, instead of, here are the ways how I can help myself do this. As soon as you hear yourself saying something like, oh, that's just me. I've always been that way. I can't help it. That's just my nature. What do you expect? That's just me. You need to stop at that point. You need to recognize those thoughts, and you need to just zip them right there. Like, nope, I'm not thinking that way. That's not helpful. It's not helping me grow. It makes me stuck. Let's look at this quote over here. I'm going to move this. I don't know if it's on your screen also, so I'm just going to try to accommodate. Just read this. How do people succeed? Why does it happen? Successes don't happen overnight. Success is something that is usually a lot of hard work. We all know that we can be very talented, we can be very gifted, but a talented and gifted piano player who doesn't practice at all is not gonna get anywhere compared to a person who is consistent in his practice, right? So here we go. I succeed because I'm willing to do the things you're not. I will fight against the odds. I will sacrifice. I'm not shackled by fear, insecurity, or doubt. I feel those emotions, drink them in, and then swallow them away to the blackness of hell. I'm motivated by accomplishment, not pride. Pride consumes the weak, kills their heart from within. If I fail, I will get up. If I'm beaten, I will return. I will never stop getting better. I will never give up, ever. That is why I succeed. We're going to ponder about that for a little bit later. But right now, I'd like to for us to pay attention or focus on two kinds of mindset that we could have. So sometimes we would have a fixed mindset, the mindset that keeps us stuck. Okay, and how do you recognize that you're stuck? That you're in the wrong mindset, that it keeps you in this box and it doesn't allow you move on? Well, the first thing as for my opinion, okay, so the first thing to pay attention to is see effort as a waste of time. As soon as you start seeing effort as a waste of time, you know you are caught up in the fixed mindset. Why would I even try? Oh, she said, I don't know. Let me think up an example real quick. Oh, okay. She said to try and contact 15 of my friends and see if they would like to try my samples. If your first reaction is, oh, it's such a waste of time, it's not going to work, you're in a fixed mindset. I'm not saying that, like reaching out to friends and giving them samples is going to solve all your marketing problems. Obviously not. But keeping an open mind and keeping your eye out on your reactions. Avoiding challenges. We have so many challenges. Oh my goodness. Like one of my own challenges is I'm homeschooling, and so my kids are with me, and so yeah, I have to be juggling, and I have to make sure that my schedule works so that I can work, right? I make sure to figure this out, and it's a challenge. I can always avoid the challenge, and I can pretend that I'm too busy, my schedule is too uncomfortable, and I am not going to do this. But not a chance, right? If you get some criticism and you ignore it, or you feel threatened by the success of others, this is something that should ring this bell in your mind saying, ding, 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 ding. Not good. You need to move out of this space. You're not growing. You're stuck in a fixed mindset. When you grow and you are in the growth mindset, you embrace challenges. Whatever that challenge is, it can be a challenge of putting the kids to bed, on time so that you can have time to work. It can be a challenge of learning new app, how the app works, so that your work would go smoothly, so that maybe it would be like an online calendar or something, so that you could do your appointments easy. Whatever it is, embrace it and go with it. When you look at effort as the path to mastery, to something, let me see. Putting the kids, yes, that was me tonight. Honestly, that was me tonight. My husband just got home from Iowa. He was not supposed to get home until Saturday, and they cut the trip short. So he just got home, and we like Iowa meat. I know it sounds silly, but he brought like 30 pounds of hamburger that needs to be put away, right? And so here I am, 7:00. I'm trying to cut this meat, put it away, make sure the kids are in bed, the showers, and like keeping an eye on the clock. Okay, 7:45, gotta go, right? We all do this to a certain extent, but are you gonna just give up? Are you just gonna avoid it? Or are you gonna embrace it and take it and put an effort and master it and just own it? Oh, I love these words. Own it. So over here, this is one of the best things here. Learn from and find inspiration from the success of others. Don't feel like, oh, I can never be like that. Again, you can decide how you feel, right? Am I going to be upset about this? Or am I going to be inspired with this? Learn from them. Because if they are successful, There are definitely breadcrumbs somewhere on the floor for everybody else to pick up and to learn and to become successful as well. So going back to that quote about success, I'm willing to do the things you're not. This is about being uncomfortable. It is a lot more comfortable to grab a bag of chips, jar of queso, plop on the couch, turn on Netflix, and just check out for the evening. It's a lot more comfortable. Most people would prefer to do that. But for some reason, today, Wednesday night, you are at this training and you're listening and you're trying to find some nuggets that would work for you, that would be applied to your life, that would help you beat the odds. I don't know. Okay. Yes, somebody has somebody else drawing on my presentation. I don't know what's going on, but it's funny. Okay. And it also tells me that probably at least one of us has a child in her lap and juggling and trying to learn while being a mother. What are the odds, right? I will fight against the odds. Yes, I have little kids. Yes, I have responsibilities, but I will get this done. I will sacrifice. And yeah, sacrifice. I'm not sitting on the couch watching Netflix, right? The fear, insecurity, doubt, all these things, they need to be recognized. They need to be talked to pretty much like, hi, fear, I recognize you. I know what you're trying to tell me. I respectfully disagree. You may leave. The same about doubt, the same about insecurity. Swallow them away. Just let them go. If you get stuck in that, the shackled is the right word. You're tied up. You can't do anything. And that's not good. Motivated by accomplishment, not pride. Ooh. Right? The accomplishment. And your accomplishment, it doesn't have to be something huge. It doesn't have to be anything like ginormous. Just your little thing. Hey, I served hot dinner, homemade hot dinner tonight, and I put my kids to bed, and now I'm listening to the training, or I didn't put my kids to bed, but like whatever you had, your line of things that you, and that's awesome, and you're already there. If I fall, I will get up. If I'm beaten, I will return. I will never stop getting better. It's the resilience. It's the ability to bounce back no matter what. Because guess what? I believe that every person who goes in business goes there, usually, I believe that, goes there for one simple reason. They want to help. If you think about your introduction, how you introduce yourself at networking events, most likely you start with words, I help, and then you start talking about others, everything else, right? And, if this is your motivation, if this is your goal, even if you fall, you will get up. So the other way you can look at your challenges and at everything that you're facing during your day, you can have a loser's mindset or a winner's mindset. And it is very close to what we talked about, fixed mindset and growth mindset, but it's a little bit different, okay? So if you look at the loser's mindset, it's setting your goal and thinking about it instead of committing yourself and doing it. Do you see the difference? Just setting your goal and thinking about it is not going to get it done. Making excuses versus making commitments. Am I going to find an excuse, or am I going to find a way to make it happen? Reacting versus acting. Being proactive. Being intentional about what you want to achieve, about where you want to be, about how you look at your challenge. Not reacting. Being controlled by circumstances, it's not my fault. It always happens to me. Well, let's think about what you can do about it. Let's think about how you can change it. Let's think about how you can be a problem solver, not a victim. Losers are motivated by easy methods. Okay. So what's the easy methods here? What can I do? Like, you're looking for easy way out. Where winners are motivated by successful results. They're like, oh, so you are at this stage of your business, and these are your results. So let me see what you did, and maybe I can replicate it for my business. Right? It is so easy to get caught into all the, I don't know if your timeline on Facebook looks like this, but mine does sometimes. Like, it comes and goes in spurs, but all the workshops on how you're supposed to be marketing and sales and branding and coaching and this and this and this and this and this. And it all starts with this simple, usually tagline that goes pretty much like this: learn my 5 easy steps to do this. Interesting. Losers fear what they do. Are you afraid? Winners do what they fear. As soon as you recognize you're scared of doing something, probably, most likely, it's your next step. Most likely, it will take you to the next level. Okay, I just saw the note from Candice that's her 3 months old. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so instead of looking at why something can't and won't work, look at why something can and will work. Does it make sense? Pay attention to this one. This is so important, okay? Pride consumes the weak. It kills their heart from within. It is the truth. Instead of becoming prideful, celebrate your effort and accomplishments. And I would like to emphasize, celebrate your effort. Whoa, what happened? Sorry? Okay, sorry about that. As women, we do not celebrate enough. We feel like, oh, I did nothing special today. What? You got up. You made sure your kids were safe. They are fed. They're all alive. Your house is still standing. There's probably food on the table. There's probably laundry done. There's probably, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Celebrate it. You deserve to celebrate your effort. And even if your day just got away from you today, just because it got crazy, because life happens. It's okay to celebrate it, and then the next day you know that, okay, now today I need to take it a little bit more under control, and I can tweak here and there, and I can find time for my business if that's a situation that you're in. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. If it's not a challenge, you won't push yourself. You won't even try. It needs to be a challenge. We all want to grow. We all want to grow in our professional fields. We all want to grow personally. We probably want to grow spiritually. We want to grow financially. There's so many areas in our lives that we want to grow in. And it can be scary, it can be uncomfortable, it can be everything you can think of, but the truth is that if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So when you look at all of this, and it was a lot, I imagine it was a lot, and you're like, oh my God, how am I ever gonna do this? It's a lot. I'm just gonna get overwhelmed. I'm gonna burn out. Oh no. So here is a very simple thing. And if you're on the phone, just go ahead and take a screenshot if you would like to remember this. And feel free to remind me in the Facebook group, or email me or something. I can make this into an image, shareable image, so that you can have it when you need to look at it. But how to not burn out, it's pretty simple. It's self-respect. Do you see it? It lines up vertically. Self-respect, okay? So how do you not burn out? You set goals. You exercise, and by exercise, I do not necessarily mean going to the gym and do a hardcore workout, but you are active physically. You're doing something, okay? Love yourself. We are guilty to a fault about this, because we love everybody. We love our partners, we love our children, we love our clients, we love our neighbors, we love our siblings, we love. And then when it comes to love yourself, it's like, oh, I don't know, there's so much I don't like about myself. Well, maybe it's something to think about. Focus on what's important to you. We are being pulled in different directions all the time. I don't know about you, but I could probably, if I started counting how many times I get pulled different direction from what I was doing, I'd probably get to 400 a day. And it's not just my kids, right? It's the emails, it's the incoming messages, it's the kids, obviously. But focusing on what's important to you allows you to keep moving in the direction that you want to keep moving, okay? It is important to rest and relax. Please, please, please do not pull the all-nighters fixing your website every night. And I'm guilty of that. That's what I do. I can pull an all-nighter, but I need to remember that, you know what, honey, you're gonna need to get up at 5, 6 in the morning, and you have a full day of work. So find a different way to get this done. Try to eat right. Figure out what triggers the reactions that makes you maybe sluggy or something. We have so many representatives in health and wellness area that they would be happy to tell you that, hey, well, maybe that last loaf of bread you munched on was not a very good idea. Yeah, speaking from my own experience. Anyway, smile. Smile, smile, smile. Something I learned from my teaching experience many, many, many years ago. Every time you pass your reflection, should it be in the mirror, in the window, in the car windows, anywhere, as soon as you see your own reflection, you make a quick eye contact and you smile. Is it hard? Not at all. But it helps. It really does. Portray yourself positive. Stop the negative Nelly. If she starts talking, she needs to be on a timeout, on a very, very long timeout. Talk positive to yourself, about yourself. Enjoy life. Care for others and tell yourself you can do this. Every single time you look at a challenge and you go, and this inhale, and you're starting to panic, and you're like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? I can do this. Exhale, find your reflection somewhere, give yourself a smile, broaden your shoulders, stand up tall. You can do this. How to accept a challenge? Simple, the 3 P's. The posture, stand up tall, positive self-talk, I can do this, plan smart. Smart planning, this is something that I talked about at the launch. Smart planning, that's an acronym. Your goals must be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And I'll be happy to go into it with you, but if you just Google SMART goals, there's a ton of stuff that you can read on that. So like, I'm not gonna take any more time on that. So this is it. Questions? Do we have any questions? Is there anything that came up? I would love to hear from you.